Welcome, everyone. Let me make adjustments. Okay, let me see where I begin. Welcome, everyone, for joining me in what I look to be another series of messages similar to the last 12 I did on our self-inflicted enslavement within our minds. I had not broadcast in a while. I stepped aside and gathered my thoughts and want to think about what I need to do. And a thought came to me to bring forth this particular message. I'll be coming from my experience with others, talking to people, using myself as an example. If you see yourself in this particular message, then you can agree or not agree. I learned that preparing any message, it can offend someone, a lot of people. I recall telling particular women, different races, that I was going to do a particular message on women don't know their place in a relationship. And so, well, you're going to be pushing a hot button. You know, are you ready to be bombarded or grenade verbally? And some asked me, what do I mean by that? And I shared my opinion from my experience. And I was surprised that some women agree with what I said. They may not come out in the open and say it to their friends because they want to keep their friendship. They don't want to let other people know that they do think different, so they stay in the back and just listening, as in one would say, it's none of my business, I just stay to myself. But I found out that being none of my business and staying in the background and not saying anything gets us in trouble because we tend to go by what we think, feel, want, and believe. And I was one such person, as in thinking what I believe, believing what I believe, and doing what I believe, what I think, feel, want, and believe because it benefits me. And I felt that, hey, no one's going to get hurt other than myself, or even if someone did get hurt, it's their responsibility to protect themselves. So that I thought about my actions and behavior when I was preparing this series of message. I would be coming in all directions. Then I thought about it, I'm not going to even leave the guys out of it. So you can say women and men, children, friends, family members, and in-laws do not know their place in a relationship. Yes, a lot of us do not know our place in any type of relationship, as it pertains to friendship. As a children, you got some children are being, they play the adult, they act like the adult. Their parents allow them to be an adult. The parents has become the child, and the child has become their parent. And parents are letting their children do and say whatever they want, even if they live in the household. And the children has become their parent, and the parent has become the child, because they want to get along instead of stand up for their rightful position. Then you have the in-laws, and then you have the stranger briefly, and then you have your friends. Sometimes they stick their nose in your business and they're not warranted, or they have never been asked. So we have this whole conglomerate of people behaving and doing the things they want to do. Then we have the individual that sit off to the side, remain in the shadow, and they don't even want to get involved because they don't want to experience the repercussion of saying anything, so they want to keep their friendship and just do whatever they want to do. But I did not become the person I am today overnight. I had a wake-up call. In my mind, someone came to me and asked me something, and I thought about what they said. I considered what they said. I evaluated, did my own homework, and realized that, yes, what I had been told was the truth. I can have a doctorate. I have no college degree. I have a high school diploma. There are individuals who have a doctorate degree or a bachelor or master degrees and a professor or whatever. Some of them you can communicate with, and some you can't because they consider you not on the level, you beneath them. Who are you to tell me what to do because I have a college degree and you have just a high school diploma? It's not about the diploma, it's the mindset of the individual, because I have been told a lot of times when I share things with other people, they think I did attend college or some psychological position or something. I tell them no, it's just a God-given gift to allow me to be. So I thought about the things that I have shared prior to, I thought about every message that I have done and posted on Facebook. Even on my YouTube channel, He Still Speaks Now Listen, and also The Hidden Tales of a Black Male. And I thought about all the videos that I uploaded, and I can tell when people are interested in them because they will comment or not comment, or they will not even say anything about it. Some may be listening behind the scene. They may agree with what I'm saying, but they don't want their friends to know that they agree with what I'm saying. They don't want their friends to know that they are thinking different than their friends. So they're not going to respond. They're not going to log on live with me and engage in the conversation. In order for us to change, we must want to have an open dialogue and have an open discussion to change. So the messages I have uploaded on my YouTube channel, even the ones I have done on Facebook, is only for a specific group of people. Those who want to know the truth, those who want to know the truth so they can change, those who are tired of living and experience the lifestyle they're experiencing, and they say, you know what, I want to learn something about me. I'm tired of living the life that I'm living. I want to live a different life. Yes, I'm married. Yes, I'm single. Yes, I'm going to be married. Yes, I'm dating. Yes, I'm experiencing a lot of things in life, but am I really happy? So what do individuals do? Drink or smoke or take up a habit to satisfy, though they think there are feelings that they're holding back. So I thought about this particular series, and I know when I share something, I try to provoke a thought. If I touch one person in anything that I say, it was that one person that I'm supposed to touch. Because a lot of us get ourselves in trouble when we don't want to listen, we refuse to listen, we refuse to consider anything that someone is telling us, so we just ignore it. So it's not about the numbers of people liking me or number of people disappointed in what I'm saying. It's that we are living in a time that we need to hear the truth. And by hearing the truth, give me all of the truth and let me decide for myself. It's not about black or white or male or sex, or you have a doctorate degree or you have a college degree or you drop out of school. No, it's the motive behind your motive. It's the motive behind your thinking. It's the motive as in what you want to know and what you should be doing. We as individuals need to begin to wake up and call into question everything that we say or do, even how we interact with people. So this series of message, I'm going to lay the introduction foundation to the message, and I'll be following up with many other topics of discussion. And you can engage by just typing your comment or question into the chat section. And also always say, it's not about let's agree to disagree. I don't believe in agree to disagree. Because when both parties believe that they agree to disagree and they walk off in the sunset, both individuals thinking that they're right. We shall walk away realizing that I'm right. Yes, I have an opinion, but what is the ultimate truth? Does that truth go against my opinion? What I think, what I feel, what I want, what I believe, and how it has worked out for me so far. We always meet individuals that will give us things, but why am I meeting them? And I was looking at my notes and looking at some stuff on the thing, and I came across a particular topic. A brother was talking about something, and I saw a quote, and I said, wow, that's interesting. I'm about to bring forth a message is that I'm going to specifically talk about. And I said, wow, come on the heel of my particular message. And this is the quote that he said, and it can also tie into my title. It said, quit letting people borrow love you don't have in your account to give. Again, I say that. Quit letting people borrow love you don't have in your account to give. It came when it come in on the heel of this message, and I thought about it. I said, wow, he's actually saying what I'm saying. In order to quit letting people borrow love, how can you borrow love from me if I don't have love to give? Is love defined as how good you kiss or how good you perform in bed? Is that what you define your love on? Then you are in trouble. And I can speak from experience on that. So he said, you must quit letting people borrow love that you don't have in your account. What do you have in your account? What are you giving out that you really don't have? So when I thought about this, she's actually saying to you and I that we, as males and females, we don't know our place in the relationship. When you know your place in the relationship, people don't like that term. What do you mean my place? You know, if you don't know your position, or you don't, whatever way you want to call it to make you feel good, if you don't know your position or place in any type of relationship, when it's out of order, it's not not going to function properly. It may function a little bit here, a little bit there, but it's not going to function as it should, and you're going to cause problems on yourself down the line. And you may enjoy the pleasure from being in that kind of relationship, but you're going to experience the situation down the line. Thank you, Anthony Harris, for joining. So we as individuals must realize, as I mentioned, I got a lot of notes, so I'm going to try to stay on my notes because I don't want to go away and people get lost and say, what are you talking about? But what I'm discussing in this, that I'm going to discuss in the series, which I thought going to be one, is simply we as individuals, black or white, or this message can go over to other races, that we as individuals must begin to realize that are we in our proper relationship when it comes to being married? Are we in our proper relationship when it comes to being single? Because being single, there are requirements in the form of being single, which you can and cannot do. And especially those of us who call ourselves Christians, can people look at us or come to us because they see a difference in us, in our behaviors, in what we are saying? Are we doing the same thing that the world is doing? And it's not about pointing the finger. It's not about judging people. Oh, you judging me and you whatever. No, it's not about that. It's about telling the truth. Because even when I became what I am today, I thought about, I said, wow, I wish I had heard this type of information when I was growing up, because it would have set me on the right course, but I had to experience a lot of things that brought me to where I'm at now. I had to overcome my pride. I had to overcome that I hurt. I had to overcome that I do cry. I had cried, and I still cry often once in a while. I had to understand that I do care for other people, whether they care for me. I had to understand that I have a calling or feeling that I should do more in my life to help others because what I have been given. So I start thinking about myself and say, when you are in a position to share, to help others, you must expose, you must reveal to people things about yourself that you may not want to be revealed. And I remember putting something on Facebook several months ago, and I was saying, for the males, I call my book, the hidden title of it is The Hidden Tears of Black Male. So what are the hidden tears of black male? If you see me crying right now, you know that I have a problem. But the other kind of tears that I want you to be focused on is the person's behavior, what they say and what they're doing and how they're addressing. They may be crying out for help. They may be crying out for understanding. They may be crying out for answers. That is another form of crying without seeing the tears. So we as individuals, I put something on Facebook asking men to share your hidden tears, and believe it or not, I got zero. Whether they read, whether they heard what I said or listened to what I said, and they may say, well, I'm not going to share nothing about me, and that's fine, that's your choice. But I know that there are many, I heard from women, there are many men out there who are being verbally abused, and they're being physically abused in their relationship. If you don't believe that is true, then you got a problem. There are a lot, it's an unspoken secret among men. They are being physically and emotionally abused by their wife or their girlfriend. And someone said maybe they're allowing them. Yes, they are allowing them, but what they're doing, they're experiencing some type of abuse. So most men, most men would not tell people, hey, man, my baby hit me the other night. What? Hit you? You're a man. They're not going to say that. They may come around in the third person. So we must begin to wake up and say, you know what? I'm not enjoying my life. I'm going to come from my hidden tears and let people hear me cry verbally or behaviorally in the right direction. So it's not about how many people like what I say or don't like what I say. That's their choice, that's their opinion. But I know from my experience, in my research, in my homework, I know it's true, and most people will not accept the truth if it goes against what they think, feel, want, and believe, and what's in it for them. And if they have a college degree behind their name, wow, they're still in trouble because they won't accept anything from me because I have a high school diploma. I have been through that. So when I read this brother's statement, say, quit letting people borrow your love that you don't even have in your account. So I'm going to tell you all today, those who, and like I said, those who want to know the truth will listen to what I have to say. They may engage in a discussion. They may make a comment in the chat section. That's fine. If don't, And then there are those that will listen to this message at a later date. And there are those who may be listening now but had not signed on, and that's fine. But what I'm saying, I want it to help you who want help. My messages is not for everyone. Everyone is not going to accept them because it kind of rubbed them the wrong way. So, let me see. So I want you to decide to put aside your emotional side. Put aside your emotional side and just listen. Just listen to what I'm going to share with you. Listen, because you may hear something that you go, wow, I am doing that. Wow, I'm going through this. And then I did my homework and I recall something where it said, the title went with the Stockholm Syndrome. That happened in Stockholm, I believe, where I think Patty Hearst, I think the smart girl, when someone kidnaps someone, male or female, the other person kind of takes sides toward the suspect or the person who kidnapped them. And if they've been held hostage for a long time, they go to a psychological events in their mind and they start agreeing with the psychological person. They start looking at their captor in a different way. And one I know for sure happened many years ago. Patty Hearst, the daughter or wife or someone of the rich Hearst newspaper company, was kidnapped, and she was held for a lot of days. And then all of a sudden, they show her with her captor or somebody who was with. When she was robbing a bank. And I said, wow. And someone said, how could she been kidnapped, go through whatever, and then go out one day and rob a bank with the person who captured her? That is known as the Stockholm Syndrome. And I began to think about what I learned, and I said, wow, we, if we want to admit it or not, is experiencing some form of Stockholm Syndrome. So I titled my own slogan. I call it Abusive Relationship Syndrome. An abusive relationship syndrome where you and I can be in a relationship where we are experiencing experiencing something from our captors. Yes, you can be married. You can be a husband or wife, and you're being abused slowly but surely, and you start doing that. Is why you find people who are single, they break up from their loved one, and they still kind of see them off the side, even if they have know that this person is not good for them. Even if they have told their friends that this person, he or she is not good for them, they will still go back to that person. Husband and wives are in relationship where the wife is verbally abused. I know people don't like to say that, but when black women or white women, whatever you want to use to help you understand, a lot of black women and women in general, I'm speaking from a black perspective. I can't say, because I'm not been around a lot of white relationships, but the thought should come to you. We don't want to address the truth. When we don't want to address the truth, me saying what I'm saying now, I have been called an Oreo, Uncle Tom, a sellout, the N-word, and everything you can think of because I don't agree with group thinking. I remember even saying one time I can tell they didn't like what I said. I asked them, I said, do Black Lives Matter? Oh, yes, Black Lives Matter. I said, no, it doesn't. So what do you mean by that? I said, Black Lives don't matter. What do you mean by that? I said, think about it. Black lives matter only to those who obey the law. Black lives matter does not matter to a black suspect who's out there killing, shooting, injuring, stealing, and looting, and doing whatever toward other black. If black lives truly matters to every black person from the sound of my voice and from the sight of my eyes, then we will have no killing, raping, burglary, stealing, looting, rioting, or whatever you can think that black individuals do. We will have none of that, but we're not living in a world, a utopia world. So we do have, if you don't believe me, do your homework, look at the Chicago killing. Every weekend there's killing and shooting from the youngest to the oldest. Black individuals shooting black people. Okay, those who say they speak for you and I. Do you see marches or protests on a long-term basis? No. If there's a black and white police officer shooting, you can bet sure Black lives matter to those individuals because they will come out the woodwork and protest and riot and steal and loot. And then I will say, what that got to do with the victim? Black lives matter only to those who see they can benefit from a black life, injured or suffering of pain. So when I share that with someone, they did not like what I say. I said, do your homework. Just ask the person, does Black Lives Matter? I said, yeah. Some may say all lives matter, and Black lives do matter, but all lives matter. But Black lives matter only to those who obey the law, not to those who do not want to obey the law. Even as I'm speaking now, there are people being raped, killed, shot, people breaking in your house, doing whatever, taking your things under the name, under the guise of black. No, Black lives does not matter to them. It only matters because they see what they can get from you. So why I'm saying, so when we speak the truth, people don't like what we're saying. People don't like when we speak the truth, especially if we're saying something totally different from what our other race say. So people don't want to hear the truth. So I thought about it. So the definition of Stockholm Syndrome is feeling of trust or affection felt in certain cause of a kidnapping or hostage taking by the victim toward a captor. Some single and married females and males are experiencing the same thing. They are experiencing what I call the abusive syndrome relationship. They are in a relationship, instead of them getting help, they're simply accepting it. I remember when I was a police officer and I used to go to this lady's house, this husband, she used to call every week in because her boyfriend was beating up on her. And I mean really beating up on her where EMS needed to be called. I told her, I said, if you don't leave this man alone, he's going to hurt you or kill you. Oh, he loves me. I said, how can you explain what love is? How you can she was justifying why she was getting beat up verbally and physically. And I couldn't understand that. Because I said, you need to get out of it. You need to get out of this relationship. And the reason why he was doing it, because when she got to get dressed to go out with her lady friends, he did not like that. She had to report into him wherever she go. He had to know everything where she was doing that day, even if he's not working. That is not knowing your place in a relationship. Within a relationship, she did not know her place. He did not know his place in that relationship. And along the sad side of that story, he ended up killing her. He ended up killing her because she did not listen to me. She listened to her emotions, and she felt she was under what I call the abusive Stockholm, abusive, you can put in your abusive Savannah syndrome, abusive Atlanta, wherever you live, put yourself in there. So some individual get married and remain separate while they're still married, doing whatever they want to do. Some individuals have gotten married that are married right now, are still separate in their mind, even though they are married. They do what they want to do. I'm not saying that you, male or female, must put 100% in doing everything your spouse do and depend on them for your love and happiness. No, that's not coming from as I continue to mention. You see what I mean? But there are individuals at the sound of my voice that are married, that are still separate. They have never come together as husband and wife for whatever reason. Maybe for childhood upbringing, what they saw in their parents or grandparents, or what society have taught them, what they see in the movies, on TV shows, and what they think love is, and what they believe how it should be, the fantasy world, whatever they're thinking. Some individuals they are married, but they remain silent in their relationship with the person that they're involved with. So we, as human beings, need to know our relationship as it pertains. Those who want to change will welcome this message. Those who do not want to change, may not like, will not accept it, will say, who are you to tell me what I should do? Because I know more than you. And that's what they think, fine. Those who want to seek, as the friends tell me, if I see something on Facebook, if I see something on the internet, and it interests me, and I will read it, I will respond to it, I will learn from it. Not all I will take from it. I will apply it to what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, and I will benefit. It should be something that we should benefit from. We should benefit from each other. It's not about how many likes I have. It's not about how many people, I have 1,000 friends. Do those 1,000 friends contact you every day? No. Do you read everything that your 1,000 friends put on in Facebook? No. Do you show concern to certain ones you do? Do you comment? No. Do you share how you really feel? Are you afraid to share what you know that may can help someone else? Are you always thinking about yourself? We as individuals must look beyond that. We must begin to look within ourselves and say, where do I belong in society? Where do I belong in my relationship? What am I doing wrong that I need to change? And a lot of us, speaking for me, we have to learn and will accept the change. So people just sit back and do what they want to do because what they see. So as I said, it's a pleasure to be before you. I know it's going to be a controversial topic. It's going to push a lot of buttons, rub people the wrong way, but I'll be coming from my experiences and my opinions and my talking to other people, talking to other females. And I want your emotions to be set aside. And if you see yourself in this series and you are helped by it, then thank you. You don't have to comment, you don't have to tell me. But if you are helped, then you've been blessed by receiving answers. When we really want to get help, then we'll come out of our little box, our self-imposed hiding behind the scene box and say, I don't even want to know. So yes, the topic, women don't know their place in a relationship. And that's true. Men don't know their place in a relationship. Children, fathers, mothers, daughters, in-laws, and strangers and friends, whoever we deal with, we need to know our place in our relationship. We need to know our place in our relationship with others. And especially we have to know our place when it comes to God. You did not create yourself. I did not create you. You can hate me. I'm just a messenger giving you what. So when you despise or don't like what I'm saying, you should be questioning, is that coming from the God as you know him to be your God? Because we're going to reap what we say. So this message can come across to racial lines, white and different races of black and females, and everyone can learn from it. And why am I doing this? Do I have to come on Facebook and do a live thing? No. I choose to because I feel it's my calling, it's my purpose. If no one does it, then who will? Maybe it's maybe it's me. Maybe I'm to share. Maybe I'm to be the one to say what needs to be said because others don't want to say what they need to say. Excuse me. So think for a moment. Where are you if you were married? Can you say you are properly in the right position, the right place in that marriage? I'm not going to talk about the single, but those of us who call ourselves Christians, that's our single, are we in our right position within our relationship pertaining to that person, male or female, or as it pertains to God? We may not like what we hear or see in the future, but there's an ultimate lawgiver that say we must do this or that. If we don't do this or that, we're going to reap the consequences of our action. You and I will reap the consequences of our action. We need to examine our choices when it comes to any type of relationship. We need to stop thinking with our sexual, emotional, back up. We need to stop thinking with our sexual emotions. Oh, I love her. I love him. Oh, I wonder how they kiss. Oh, I wonder how they are in bed. We need to not let sex control us to determine that we are in a right position to be married, a right position to be dating, a right position within our mind. Because if you be honest with you, I can say, speak for myself, a lot of times, a lot of relationships I've been in back in the day, I can say I thought I was in the right position. And what did I rely on? Maybe the sexual part or how they made me feel, what I thought, that's just that moment of whatever I got from them. But I had nothing else to go on. I had no foundation to build, to look at and say, okay, Anthony, you're in the wrong position in this relationship. You need to start thinking the way you need to think. You need to think in a manner as in saying, this is what I need to do. I need to die to myself. So I too follow my sexual emotion only to experience pain after the pleasure. Many times I thought I was in love. What I thought was love was the sexual emotions toward that person. I allowed myself to be blinded and knocked off track disregarding the telltale signs that what I'm doing and how I'm doing and how I'm behaving is not in the right position as it pertains to a relationship. I fall back into an accusatory mode, blaming my ex-partner, saying it's their fault. She needs to do this. She needs to do that. I was allowing myself to be deceived. I was not responding in a proper manner as it pertains to relationship. I was doing my own thing. I was responding to circumstances and situations when they arise. I was responding to situations and circumstances when they arise because I did not have a strong foundation as to what I ought to do. Like I say, I had no memory of my past where my mother and father and in-laws and family members sat me down and said, this is what you need to do. This is what you don't need to do as it pertains to relationship. Those of us who have never been taught on how to behave within any relationship will basically go by emotional feelings. Those who have been taught by the appearance will be in a much better position if they apply it to their life on how to behave within a relationship. And I can honestly say, I'm speaking for myself, and I know there are men out there, that men and women don't really know their true place in any type of relationship. They're just going along with the flow at that given day. If I had not accepted the truth about myself, would I be before you today? Maybe not. If I had not accepted the truth, I would not be in a position. If I accepted the truth, died to myself, way of thinking, to bring forth what you want to hear and what you had heard in my previous messages. I had to die to myself, my pride. And that's what's going to rise up in you. When we hear something, I always say this. If I say you smoke cigarettes and I give you the consequence of smoking cigarettes, it's not really going to bother you because you're not smoking cigarettes. If I say something that you're actually doing, it's going to bother you because you're doing what I'm saying. If this message or some form of this message is bothering you, ask yourself why. Are you doing some of it? And if you admit that you are, then ask, do you want to change? Or say, I want to change, and I'm going to seek out counseling or whatever to change. We must be aware, constantly be aware that what we are doing, is it right in any type of relationship? Now, what type of relationship we all should be in? Those of us who say we are Christians, those of us who are married, because we know, single, I'm speaking for myself, I know when I was going to church, I still go to church, but back in the day, going to church was a rubber stamp on my hand. I still fornicate, had sex out of marriage, even though I know it was wrong. Am I judging myself? No. Am I judging you who are doing it now? No. I'm just speaking the truth. In order to speak the truth, you must speak all of it. I can't sugarcoat things because I'm afraid that I want to offend my friends and my family members. Or who do you think you are to say this and that? Think about it. If we hear what you hear from me, from my previous videos, from the ministers in the well-known churches or even in your local church, there will be a difference. People who say, we are Christians, we should come to the point and say, we should be a difference. We should be a difference. There should be a difference in our lives. Yes, back in my time, I engaged in sexual relationship knowing it was wrong. I justified doing my own thing. And we all have done it over our life. We all have done it, and we have stopped, and some of us have stopped doing it, and some still doing it now. But the point is, give me the truth, give me all of the foundation to let me decide, will I continue or I don't continue? I have no power to make you do anything. What you decide after hearing this message, you're going to reap the consequences of your actions. Simple as that. Not me judging you. If you don't believe what I'm saying, if you don't want to consider what I'm saying, if you say, who are you to tell me what you're saying? I'm no better than you. I have a college degree, whatever. You're going to reap the consequences of your choices. That's a given. So when bad things start happening, you ask yourself, why is the bad things happening to you? Is it because something you're doing, something you have denied yourself? We can deny ourselves the truth. When we are not in a proper relationship, when we are not in a proper when we are not in our proper position within any type of relationship, we will reap some form of pleasure, but eventually we're going to reap the consequences of our action. We must begin to call into question, what do I need to do to change my mindset as it pertains to people? So we must have a godly relationship. We must have a godly relationship. I have been in a lot of ungodly relationships. I should have waited for the woman God wants me to have. You should wait for the man that God wants you to have. Kristen and I have engaged in sex outside of marriage. When we engage, it's not about sex. That's part of the subject. When we engage in sex outside of marriage, that is our root cause of a lot of relationship, and even in future relationships. You ever heard about ungodly soul ties? You know, you sleep with one, you slept with everybody else they slept with. You don't have to believe me. It's known. Do your own homework. You always hear me say, do your own homework. When we engage in sexual relationship with one person, we actually slept with everyone else they slept with. I think on the internet, if you go, how many sexual partner I had, and you will see a chart where they show you one person equal this, two person equal this, three equal that. And this is a known given fact. I remember on MTV, they used to show a commercial a long time ago where one person said, I had sex with this person. And then the person pops up. And they kept going on until the screen filled up with hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands and thousands of people when they draw back the camera. And so they were telling us that when we are engaged in a sexual relationship outside of marriage, we actually we marry that person. If you want to go that far, we marry, we have a soul connection with the individual. So therefore, when we get married or when we start dating someone else and we have sex with them, we start engaging, we start multiplying our ungodly soul ties. So we right now, spiritually speaking, we are in an ungodly position. We're in a good ungodly position as it pertains to within a relationship. You need to begin to ask yourself, what relationship are you in? A godly one or ungodly one? And if it's one godly, fine. If it's not, then you need to work on it. If you choose to say, so what's our root cause? My promiscuous behavior. And I've been told one time by a female I liked many, many years ago, I like you, I want to talk to you, I want to date you, but I can't date and be around a person if I can't kiss and can't have sex. Why? I asked. My older days, I wouldn't bother to be asking. I would just have engage in sex with her. Because I want to see how you put out, I want to see how you perform. And I thought about it. Okay, if I perform a right way now, is there any guarantee if you and I get married, if we were to get married, that I'm going to continue to put out as you call putting out? So if I don't put out after you and I get married after so many years, are you going to leave me for someone else? Are you going to have an affair? Are you going to stay married to me and have an affair? Are you going to sleep around trying to find the right person that can put out to your satisfaction? That is a person who don't know their place within a relationship. They are telling me, I will date you, be a part of your life, but you must do what I want to do. Going back to what I call abusive Stockholm abusive syndrome, where the abuser, female, is telling you and I males that unless you do this and that for me, I will withhold this. And then the more they do it, if you are married, you slowly become their captive. And then you do what they want you to do. The women mostly will begin to justify staying with that person if they're single. Even if the person who's single don't even know what I'm saying today, they are experiencing some form of syndrome from the abuser. They're in a relationship that they can't get out. They see that they can't get out. They're looking at the downside. If I get out of this relationship, what's going to happen next? So they're satisfied. So women who are married, they don't want to get a divorce. So what do? They get another person on the side. And they stay in the marriage because the man who they're married to, the woman who are married to, is not putting out, whatever you want to call it, pulling out in whatever direction they deem to be putting out. They don't know their place within that marriage or in that marital relationship. And those of us who say we are Christian, we cannot have it both ways. You can't say I'm a Christian and I'm single and doing the same thing the world is doing. We're going to reap the consequences for our actions. We can justify it all day long. Some people right now in the sound of my voice have been blinded from the truth. They can't even consider the truth. Because to consider the truth, they must reveal that they have a weakness. They must reveal that they don't want people to know. And what happens to an individual? They go to a spiritual suicide through lack of knowledge, and some people even kill themselves because they don't want people to know that they have a problem. They don't want people to know. So the woman who told me that went on to find someone else that she can be with, that can put out. She wanted someone within her relationship based on her, what she required. Truth to those who are Christians, we need to know our place. We need to know we will eventually experience. We need to know that we will eventually experience the consequences of our actions. We need to know. We need to know. Being a black male and a black female, we can say we have ingrained thoughts from slavery. We may not realize that passed down through our ancestors. We are more resistant to change. We don't want to change. We say it's the white man's fault or the white race fault or our circumstances holding us back. We hold ourselves back with the thinking that we are saying. We need to recognize, hey, I'm not in the right position as it pertains to this relationship because I'm married. I'm not in the right position as it pertains to me being a single as I'm being a Christian. I need to know. So I thought about my behaviors, and I thought about what females shared with me and what I wrote down. So I'm going to give you a flavor of where I'm going to be going in the direction to talking about different topics within this topic. Yes, black men and women, it could cross over to other races, but I'm only center it to us, that we don't know our place when it comes to a relationship, any type of relationship, friends, families, in-laws, children. We need to know our proper position, our proper place. And it's not about, I'm a woman, I'm a man, you got to listen to me. I'm not coming from that position. I'm coming from a position that's saying this is what we need to do in order for us to receive. If you can go, I want to go there. In order for you and I to receive what God has for us, we must be in a proper godly position to get what he wants us to have. We are not going to receive things that God has for us when we are not in a proper position as it pertains to him. That's a given. And if we are not, we're going to reap the consequences from our action. So I wrote some thought that I want to peel you with, and I experienced this in my lifetime. You don't, and this is a woman telling me, or I've heard from other men, or heard from other women who have voiced their concern. Yes, you may find this as shocking. There are a lot of black women out there that will say that there's a lot of black females that's out there act like a man. I remember telling someone, saying, what do you mean acting like a man? No man wants to date a female that behave and think like a man. They did not marry a physical man. They marry a wife. They marry a woman. And women in a marriage need to know their place. Not, oh, she need to listen to everything I'm saying. No, it's not about that. It's knowing what you must do in a proper godly order, a proper godly manner, as in respecting that person. People are married, as I mentioned earlier. They are married right now, but yet they are separate. Give you an example. I'll use this one. I thought about this today. Give you the scenario. Scenario one. Husband, the wife doesn't work. Husband leaves, get up in the morning, there's no breakfast. Wife sleeping, no kids. I'm hungry. He fixes his meal, walks out the door, buy his lunch, come home. May find his wife sitting on the couch watching soap opera. Look around, dishes not washed, clothes not washed, house not cleaned up, bed is not made up. Baby, what did you do today? Nah, nothing. I talked to my girl. We went out, got my nails done, got my hair done. I just come back and relax. And he said, baby, don't you think you should clean up the house where you left? Ooh, excuse me? Oh, no, you didn't tell me that. We know that is being done right now. Excuse me? I didn't marry. I'm not your mom. What's wrong with your pants? If you want it cleaned up, you do it yourself. Okay. Then an argument happens because the husband is simply saying, trying to express to his wife, I've been working all day and I come home and this is what I'm seeing. She didn't even bother to say, oh, baby, how are you doing today? What happened today? Is there anything I should know? Do you want me to cook you dinner? Something to that effect. I remember telling a woman that. She told me, she said, this was a friend. I didn't know why I was dating. I was just sharing a discussion. She said, I'm not doing that. He got 2 hands and feet. And we know today, right now, you go out and they argue back and forth and they go to bed. They might engage in a sexual relationship, but did it solve the problem? No. That relationship between the husband and wife was not in a proper position. No order. Another scenario 2. Husband and wife go out to dinner. He walks on the inside instead of him open the car door for her. He goes around and get in first and hit the lock and let her get in. Okay. Is that the right way? No. He should open the car door first, let her get in. They drive toward the location to get to the restaurant. He parks. He gets out. He doesn't say, oh, baby, wait a minute, let me get the door for you. He gets out, she gets out, hit the lawn. They walk together on the street. He's on the inside instead of the outside. The outside is a form of protection. They walk on the sidewalk. He opened the restaurant door. He walks in first, leaving her behind. Excuse me, what's wrong with that picture? He don't. He sit down. They walk through the door. They go into the restaurant. They go to the table. The waitress, how many? 2. He sit down first. She sit down first. He don't grab the chair and pull it out. And she sit in. And he push and he sit down. She said, oh, baby, I'm going to the restroom. Okay. Does he stand up while she's going to the restroom? Nope, he stay there. She comes back. Do he stand up and she sit down? No. Do they when they look at the menu? Baby, what do you want? Yada, yada. Instead of him ordering for her, he lets her order and then he orders. Then, as they fix the meal, in these days, he may be on the telephone texting. She may be texting her girlfriend or someone on the phone. Very limited form of communication between the two. They gets up, in reverse, the same thing happened. But both gets up, he don't open the door, he don't pull out the chair. He goes to the car. It's raining. Do he take his coat off and cover her head because he forgot to bring a raincoat? No. She's just gonna get wet today. He drives up, sit in the car while it's raining. She had to get in, open the door for herself while he's sitting in the car. See my point? That relationship is out of order. Those people are not in a proper position. And I heard the thought came to my mind because someone said, I'm not doing that. White people do that. So what do you mean white people do that? I'm not going to go through all of that. We're married. Excuse me? Those are proper etiquettes that we have never been taught. And then you wonder why your spouse go, you may not like it, go to another race, Chinese, Asians. So, oh, they left me for a white person. They left me for so-and-so. Well, why? Because if you think about it, the truth should be told. Other race of females, do your homework, know how to respond, know what it means to be in a relationship within a relationship. And I'm gonna close with this thought. I remember going when I was in Colorado. I like to see people that are married for 60 years. Back when the people got married, it was 60 years. It was no such thing as a prenuptial agreement. They loved each other. And this lady, I went in her house when I was working in a phone company. She had a laundry. She was taking out the laundry out of the house. She was ironing her clothes and his clothes. And I said, wow, you must have been married for 60 something years. She said, yes. And she began to explain to me that what her parents had taught her. If you want to keep your man, you got to know what to do to keep your man. We're not talking about jumping off a bridge. We're not talking about belittling yourself. We're not talking about making yourself less than a human being. If you want to keep your man, if you want to keep your wife, if you want to improve your relationship with your spouse, you must do what is required of you. You must do what is required of you. And I can give you a test. Those of you who are married, or those of you who are single. If you tell those of you who are single first, you say, well, I discover and I realize that I cannot continue to have a sexual relationship with you because I'm a Christian and we're not married. What's going to happen? That man going to say, baby, I understand, you're right. No, he's going to argue and fuss and justify and say everything, whatever, to keep you doing it. That's a given. For those of you who are married, I challenge you to do this. When you're in the presence of your loved one, whether they're coming or going, oh, baby, you going to work? Have a nice day. Have a blessed day. May everything go well for you. I'll see you when I come in. You kiss. He gets up in the morning. I'm not getting up in the morning and wake up. He gets up in the morning. He smelled breakfast in the house. Wow, she cooked me breakfast. She must want something. That's the first thing you're going to think. You come home from work and she greets you with, hey, babes, how was your day? Wow, something happened today. If she did, you're going to say, did she do something wrong? She's trying to make up. No, she's learning to behave in a proper way in the relationship. You come out and you say, baby, wait a minute, I'll get that door for you. Excuse me, let me get that chair for you. Baby, what would you like me to order for you? I want whatever. That makes fun in a relationship. You may not like to watch the movie that she want to watch, but you're going to watch it because she wants you to watch it with her. You may get something from it, or vice versa. You start bringing your marriage out of separatism, separate being married. You're married physically, but you're separate. So I'm hearing this, Anthony, did you know all this when you was married? Nope. I had to go through experience. I had to go through trial and error. I had to go through my own pain and suffering. Yeah, I received a little pleasure, but I had to learn from my pain. So now I'm in a better position to learn, to share what I learned from my experience. We should not have to experience something before we learn, but we should be willing to learn. Had I not learned, I would not be before you today. So now you see where I'm coming from. We must understand our position, our place in our relationship as it pertains to God, as it pertains to a husband and wife, as it pertains to being single, as it pertains to be a mother-in-law, in-law, a daughter, a sister, or brother. We must know our proper position in our relationship with others, on our job. It goes from the whole family structure. When our family structure is out of order because we're in the wrong position, it's going to create problems in our lives. So I wanted you to take away from this foundation that I'm building on to begin my series, that men and women, and you can throw the other subtitles in there, men and women, in-laws, brother, sister, mother, cousin, niece and nephews, friends and family members, and in-laws and grandparents, we need to once begin to realize that we must know our proper place within any type of relationship. And when we put ourselves in the right position, we will receive blessings from people or blessings from God. We must begin to know. So those men and women who are married, do your homework. Experiment with what you heard. Try it. One side gonna fight you not to do it. One side gonna make it. It's gonna be kind of weird doing it, but do it. You're gonna see a response. You're gonna see where is she coming from. Why are you doing that? Why are you behaving that way? You're gonna get all kind of interaction, but you're gonna experience something different. You're gonna get resistance from your wife or your husband. But right now, as I'm speaking, I know for sure there are men that's being abused emotionally and physically by their spouse. They have been held captive mentally. They don't know what to do. And even when they're held captive, they go both ways. They find them another girlfriend on the side because there's no peace in the house. We must stop relying on what we feel, what we think, what we want, what we believe. And as a friend would tell me, yes, as I said, this can be a hot button topic for some. If it's a hot button from you, so be it. You might be doing what I'm saying you're doing. If you listen to what I said without your emotions, you can say, he got a point. It's not a white thing or a black thing. It's knowing our place, having the information to have a better relationship in a marriage. People get married and get divorced. People get married and get divorced. And they blame the other person. They may blame themselves. And they get married and they get divorced. Get married and get divorced. On a continuous cycle over and over and over. And even young people today, they don't know their proper position or place in any type of relationship. So they succumb to college peer pressure. They succumb to whatever. We must know, like I said, the things that I share on my YouTube channel, The Hidden Tales of Black Male, you can go there if you like it. So hit the subscribe button. The things that I share on Facebook is only to those who want to know the truth, those who welcome the truth, those who seeking the truth. And how you can tell anyone who wants to know the truth or enjoy what you're saying or want to know more, they will simply ask the question. They will engage in a conversation because they want to know, because they see what they're doing wrong and they don't want to continue to live their life. So thank those of you who listen to this in the future. Thanks to those of you who join, Anthony, Connie, thank you. And like I say, if you have any comment, you can always email me. I'll give you my email today now at writeme.com, TODANOW at WRITEM.com. Like today now, writeme.com, TODANOW at WRITEME.com. If you have a question, if you want to share your opinion, if you want to share your tears, if you want to share anything that you want me to discuss because you are afraid to, or you don't want to, or you don't feel you're in a better position, or you can't express yourself in some way, share it. No name will be given. I will just share it to those who want to know, because I'm quite sure every one of us have a story that people can be blessed by just by listening. So thank you. God bless.